Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS-Inform. I'm your host, Bill Potter. The Dubois County Jasper Public Library contractual library system.
It's a mouthful.
It's a lot because it includes 4 libraries.
It does.
Christine Golden is the director of the Jasper Dubois County Contractual Library.
You got it.
Okay, which is actually Jasper, Dubois, Ferdinand, and Birdseye.
And Birdseye, absolutely.
Okay. It's the holiday season, and the next thing you know, kids are going to be on Christmas break.
Yeah.
Holiday break, and when they're on Christmas break, sometimes what do you do with kids? And
exactly.
You've got programs.
We do. We always try to make sure that over Christmas break, see, I'm doing it too. We do over Christmas break. We make sure that we have programs going on in all 4 of our libraries. Actually, all through December, we've had programs going on, and now we're going to keep on adding more, especially over these breaks. We're going to have some feature programs. I know we've got some great things coming up as far as craft programs, which are really always an exciting time. Jasper, I know for sure, has Silly Safaris coming in over Christmas break, and that's always a huge hit. We just try to, like you said, Bill, we try to make sure that people have something to do over these breaks, because I know sometimes it gets cold and long and you're trying to find events for not only for your kids, but we make sure we also have events for adults and teenagers as well. So I just always encourage everybody to go to our website. Right there on the front of our website, we also have an app you can download. I mean, there's just so many ways to find out what we have going on. One of the big things I always try to suggest to everybody is go and like our Facebook pages. We really, we try to get our information out there. We also hit, of course, on the radio stations, the newspaper, but, to keep up to date on any programs, we want to make sure you're liking our Facebook pages, but you can also just go directly to our website, and right there on the front, you click the event calendar, and you're going to see everything. And you're going to have to scroll a lot because there's a lot of programs going on every day.
And really, each library has their own set of programs.
We do.
Is that right? Because they're not necessarily, Monday is always the same at all.
No.
Each library has their own different things, different times, because different communities.
We've tried to make sure that, we don't get into that set routine, because if you get into that set routine too much, there's people that just can't come to programs on certain days. So we try to make sure we're varying these programs throughout our system, and that each library has that individuality, that they get to pick the programs that they feel fit most for their community. So you'll see maybe a crochet program going on at one library, but there'll be an adult coloring program going on at the next. So we really try to make sure to vary it up. And by all means, just because you live in Jasper doesn't mean you can only attend programs in Jasper. If you go on our website and see there's a great program going on at Ferdinand or Dubois or Birdseye, we encourage you to get up there and attend those programs.
Okay, so each library has their own event. The easiest thing to do is stop in the library, see how nice it is, and see the programs there are. But if you want to have a listing of what's going on, and then during the holiday break or the Christmas break for kids, is there more activities than normal?
There are. We try to make sure at every one of our libraries we've got something going on. With our schedule over Christmas break, the only days you're going to see an interruption are Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Right in between Christmas there, you're going to see that interruption. But other than that, we're going to be there every day, regular hours. So we're really excited to be able to offer these programs. Some of the programs do require registration. So if you look, but we make sure to note that on every one of our events that if registration is required, because if we need to get supplies for a program, or some programs the space just only limits to so many people. Like for instance, last night we had Mrs. Claus come to the Jasper Library in the Annex, but we can only fit about 25 kids in at a time. So that's why we do. But a lot of our programs do not require registration.
Okay, now I do want to mention that if you have a library card, I've got my new library card because you've been switching out to a new card. Is that easy to do? It's
very easy to do. It literally will probably take you about 30 seconds of time to do this. The reason we've done this is for 2 different reasons. We wanted to make sure it was easy for everyone to get on our databases, and we were having a little trouble by having in the old red, yellow, and green cards. It was getting a little difficult with the prefixes, electronic mumbo jumbo, trying to make sure to get everybody able to use those services. And the other big thing is we want to make sure, because honestly, there's still a lot of people, as much as we promote it, and we're going to keep promoting it, the fact that we are a library system. We're 4 libraries and we work as one. And to make sure that if you have a card at any one of these libraries, it's going to work at all the other 3 as well. Before, we had some issues where if it said Jasper Public Library on the front of your card, people were not aware that they could use it at Ferdinand, they could use it at Dubois or Birdseye. So we've tried to make sure that all 4 of the libraries that are listed on front of the card, nice new clean cards. I do apologize that the borders are white. I've heard a few times already that it's harder to find now than that green card, and lessons learned, but I think the excitement is there.
And to get a library card is really easy.
Absolutely.
And something else to know is if you have a library card, you'll need to renew it at your birthday.
You do. We make
that's
this
easy.
we make this process very simple. It's probably the easiest thing you'll ever renew in your life. You go. The reason we do it is we want to make sure we've got that right contact info, because now we're able to reach you in so many more ways. Especially if you have a hold, you want to put, you want us to contact you about something. We've got the services that'll allow you to contact you via email, text, or by phone, but we want to make sure we've still got that address right. We've still got the right phone number. Sometimes, people have to change their email addresses, so that's all really we'll check. We'll update, that information, and you'll be back to using that no problem for another year.
And if you had to, you can do it over the phone.
You absolutely can. I actually was working on Saturday at Jasper, and I had 2 different people call in to say their cards had expired, and they wanted to get online and download a book, so we got that card updated, and they were downloading books in no time again.
You have a winter reading program that's going to start in January.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, this is something we know. Obviously, our biggest time for library services is actually the summer. It always has been. It's traditional for public libraries that that's our busy time. But we want to make sure that people are using us year round, and they really do. But it just brings a little extra level of excitement. In years past, we've done a bingo program. We're still looking at that possibility for the kids, but for the adults, I think we're looking at mixing it up a little bit and just kind of making it a simpler program. Just read 3 books and you get your name entered. And we've all of our friends groups have done a fantastic job of donating some prizes to us for. So this is much more like a small scale summer reading program, but running through January and February, just to give everybody that a little extra excitement about reading books. And this one also gives you the opportunity to not only read books, but give you the opportunity to look at some of our databases, check, come to a program. If you come to a program, that counts as one of your items to do. So we're just trying to mix it up a little bit.
Now, off the air, we were talking about your Overdrive system, and what is the Overdrive for those of us who are not in the library and we don't know that?
Absolutely.
What's the Overdrive systems?
Overdrive is the system we use. It's our online database that we use for our e-material, our main 3 e-materials, which are books, audiobooks, and magazines. In the past, and I think everybody's starting to notice this, in the past we had different services for each one. You would go to one database for our magazines, one for our books, one for our audiobooks. And while those services were very valuable, we've learned that it's maybe better to condense those into one site. And that actually is called Overdrive. You'll go right on the front of our website. You don't even have to click on databases. You go right to the front, scroll down a little bit. It'll list all of our different databases that we have. And I think people are actually shocked when they see. Personally, I had to go buy a new washer over the weekend. You know what I did? I clicked on our website, clicked on consumer reports, and made sure to get those reviews before I went out and bought that new washer. So just one of those little helpful things. But for Overdrive, we know that not everybody can make it in. We have a lot of people that use the service, the electronic book service, because of that fact that they can't maybe make it into the library. Heck, some people just want to book at 11 p.m. at night, and they can't sleep that night, and they want to get a book. So it's instantaneous that you've got that book. You don't even have to come in at that time to get that book. So we've tried to make that one-stop shop and make it really user-friendly.
To use that service, to get it online at 11 o'clock at night, you need your librry card number?
You do.
You
do.
I know I've done the music I've found.
Absolutely. The music one is another huge one, and that's we must be doing something right here in Dubois County, because I had the customer service rep call me from the Freegal, which is our music service, and say, "What are you guys doing? You guys have higher usage records than any other place per capita that we see anywhere else." So I think people are really starting to get these services. But with the Overdrive, you just need your library card number. Type that in. There's a wonderful app for pretty much every one of our databases. There's an app you can download that it's going to bring that music, bring that audiobook right there for you.
Now, what if I want a book that you don't have at the Jasper, the Bird's Eye, the Ferdinand, the Northeast Dubois, or the Dubois?
This is something else that we're really excited about, and I don't even think we'd had a chance to talk about. We're always open to requests for new material. If it's a book that's come out in the last year or so, we try our best to order those materials, because we figure if one person is wanting it, someone else is too. But we have a new system. We've always had what we would call interlibrary loan, where we would borrow from other libraries in the past. But the state has actually been working really hard over the past year, and we signed up right away because we saw the benefit of this program. It's called Indiana CERCS. It's called for the statewide remote borrowing system where basically now if there's an item that you want from another library, it's user driven that you can go on. We've got a link on our website so you can borrow it from another library. It gets shipped directly to us, and probably within 2 weeks you've got that item. So we're really excited about this opportunity, not only because it's opening up new sources of reading for our patrons, but it's also allowing patrons from other areas of the state to borrow our material as well. So we're very excited to be one of the leaders in this pilot program.
So basically, the library system is pretty limitless.
It is. It is.
I mean, any book you want, you can get.
I think that's one of the biggest things we've seen with technological enhancements, that there really isn't a limit anymore on what we're able to accomplish.
Okay, so whether if you're tech savvy and the techie kind of person, you can use the library from home. But if you're still the old-fashioned kind of guy like me, and you got to have that book that you want to read and flip page by page, you've got that too.
Yeah, of course. That's never going away with any of our 4 libraries. I hear that all the time, even with kids, teenagers. They don't want to read the book on an iPad. They want to, they want to check it out. They want to be able to have that book in their hands. I've got a almost 3-year-old at home that he plays on his iPad probably better. He can get to those YouTube apps more than I can probably ever imagine to be able to. But when it comes to reading a book, he wants that book format, and that's something I really take pride in our communities, that we still really do see that value, and I think that's shown through with everything that's going on in our community with the libraries.
Well, Christine, thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
I appreciate it anytime.
Find out about the limitlessness of the Jasper, Dubois, Birdseye, and Ferdinand libraries by checking them out online or stopping in one of those libraries and finding out how they can help you to enjoy your life much better. I guess bring up your quality of life better.
Absolutely.
Christine Golden is the director of the Jasper Dubois County Contractual Library. We thank you for watching WJTS Inform, and remember, they do have holiday programs, Christmas programs between Christmas and New Year's while kids are on Christmas break. Christine, thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching WJTS. We're local people watching local people.